Team won the game. GG.
GG, yeah, that early pressure is certainly going to be something they're going to have to look out for. We're just jumping straight into pick and ban phase. Saigon Jokers over on the blue side this time, and Vega Squadron over on the red. Now Jin and Sindraban over on the blue side, and a Jason Rise from Vega Squadron.
Now, no big surprises on either of those bans. We saw them all in the first game. I think here the question is, do they turn around and ban the Lee Sin? I guess here as well, Saigon actually have first pick. So they could actually keep the Lee Sin open and take it away again, give it over to Yijin once more. Because we've said it so many times now, he had such a fantastic game of the Lee Sin that I think not taking it would be a huge mistake. Olaf ban coming through probably suggests they are going to look towards it. Unless they're hoping for a ban on the Lee Sin on the other side there. They take away the Elise and then suddenly they've got themselves a power pick.
Yeah, very true. We did talk about before as well. Zanzara can go on the Olaf. Not the Olaf, sorry, the Zag. The Olaf is banned away. But yeah, it's going to be a Elise ban. So same bans coming out from both these teams. So it's kind of strange to see the Sindra ban. But maybe Warzone doesn't play it. And now Yijin says, hey, you want to see my Nidalee? You see my Nidalee. I dare you to pick Lee Sin.
Well, this is going to where it gets interesting. I mean, last game as well, a lot of it was based on what happened early in the top lane. Obviously, we saw Zanzahara just jumping in jumping in the top lane, get himself killed early on. It turned out to be a double kill that way, one for Lee Sin, one for the Rumble in the top lane. Didn't really help, to say the least, and that just got Yijin rolling all through the game, and he continued to put down the pressure, and that was it then, and Nidalee was out of the game. But if Yijin is composed enough to not go for those kind of crazy plays and plays relatively safe, we should find him actually doing okay in this game, and I do hope he takes off, because last game was really impressive. If he can come through and show that he's multifaceted and can play more than one champion, brilliant. He's probably going to find himself being a staple pick in the main Saigon Jokers main roster.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see if that does come through. As always, people are hovering that either no idea why. I mean, unless people have been secretly playing in scrims and doing really well with him. I don't know, it's a bit of a threatening pick, I suppose. But that does mean the top laner is going to get locked in here. Non-Holy taking his Poppy again. I mean, it didn't really work out for him last game at all, and he had very little impact in the early game. He had some good charges during the mid game, obviously, when people were overstepping, but realistically, if Rowe does take this Rumble again, I mean, it might just, again, all end disastrously for him, but they are going to take away the Ashe as well, and that's going to go on blasting.
Yeah, I do like the Poppy pick, and I understand it. It's a top tier pick, and if the Jace is banned here, it's relatively safe to pick it up. The question is, what's the response? Is it the Rumble again? Do they take something completely different and try and mix things up? Well, of course, I have to wait and see. But Poppy, again, is one of those champions. She gets bullied around quite a lot early on. Then probably if she starts getting the first 2 or 3 items, she does kind of come into her own. It depends what the matchup is. I think the most ideal one for her is where she's against an AD-based opponent, because she'll go Sunfire, she'll go into the Iceborne Gauntlet, she'll go Ninja Tabbies, and you won't be able to kill her for so long, and the AD carry can't touch you either. That's what makes her so impactful. So if you take an AP champion against her, suddenly you tend to find the AD carry, or even the jungler if they're AD base, can shred through you.
We are going to see Celebrity back on the Misfortune. And now Warzone is going to lock away the Karma as well. That's probably going to go towards Ron. Ron OP. He did really well in the early game last time. Roamed a little less than Edward did, but still made a fairly big impact, especially during the mid-game. And Celebrity on that Misfortune, you said we didn't see him all too much. He was just there in the backline doing damage and shredding people with his ultimate.
Yeah, it's not like he was bad last game or just had zero impact. It was more he didn't need to. And I think it's like in solo queue, you know, the term I use, if someone is being really salty and someone's really fed, I'll say, look, mate, enable the carry. And enabling the carry is exactly what he did last game. Didn't try to be flash, didn't try and step up and be like, yeah, guys, it's fine, I'm still in this game, I'm relevant as well. He was like, all right, guys, look, you guys are really fed, you're carrying this game. I'll do my role when team fights roll around, but for now, I'm just going to chill out in bot lane, I'm going to farm up, and I'm going to do what I need to as an AD carry. And it worked out pretty well for them. He didn't die. He only used his ultimate once, yes, but he didn't need to, I don't think. He did a really good job of kind of playing that last game out. So more of the same, if Yijin can get rolling, would be really, really good to see. But Bard being locked in there is a really interesting pickup. We haven't seen Bard all that much. In fact, I don't think we've seen them once so far throughout this tournament, and that's definitely going to spin things up a little bit. I'm curious as to what the reasoning is for picking him here, though.
Yeah, he hasn't got like someone like a Jin to lock up. Obviously, the Jin is banned away, but I mean, Edward does like playing these kind of aggressive supports. Like obviously we saw him on the Alistair last game. And obviously he is very famous for his Thresh, because he is the Thresh King, of course. But Drobovic actually picking up the Victor here as well. Now he is a Victor player. He plays a lot of Victor, Cassiopeia, and Vladimir. So that will be played into the Cassiopeia, in fact.
Okay.
With Ron OP taking that one away. So it will be
Maokai.
Karma. in the bottom lane and a Maokai in the top lane. So Rumble was left open. Now,
I like
I'm
that.
surprised they're not picking it.
Maokai, again, he's one of those picks that kind of just hovers underneath the meta in a sense. He's still relevant and you can still pick him. There just tends to be stronger picks here. But I think this may be a bit of a mix of both comfort pick and the need. They don't really have a tank, so taking the Rumble here would have put them in a very dangerous position in terms of, you know, not having... I was so confused for a second and I was like, what? Wait, no way.
Jungle, Poppy jungle.
No, surely not.
Oh, surely it is. Non-Holy taking the Trundle instead, and Zanzara going on the Poppy jungle. A little bit of a flip around there. I've not seen Poppy jungle in so long.
I'm sat here and feeling... I don't know if I'm feeling tilted or just confused right now.
What is going on?
What is
going on, Derry?
See, Poppy jungle is what you played back in the day before Poppy got reworked when her Q was scaling off AP. You built AP jungle and just literally walked into the lane, E'd someone, and Q'd them for about 40% of their health. That was when Poppy jungle was good. I don't know if I like the reworked Poppy in jungle. We did see it when she first came out a few times, but at that point she was OP. She was overbuffed, and now she's been nerfed a bit. I'm not sold, but you know these guys have probably scrimmed this. They've practiced it a good few times, no doubt. Maybe they're feeling confident on this. It gives them a very good tanky front line with both Poppy and Trundle, who, you know, normally you see them on opposite sides of the rift. You'll see Poppy versus Trundle in most cases, and it's, you know, the Trundle will ult the Poppy, nick all those stats, feel tanky, feel good, man, and that's the end of that. But in this case, it's Poppy jungle. I'm really excited to see how it plays out. I'm just not convinced it's the best pick. It does scrap very well with the Nidalee, though, who can't jump away due to the steadfast presence.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Maybe it was a bit of a last pick. They saw the Maokai and they were like, oh dear, we need something to be able to 1v1 the Maokai in the top lane. How about we just take Poppy into the jungle and then put Trundle top? I want to know if that was the thought process going into that, because there was a couple of junglers, like we mentioned before, that were left up. Obviously, Lee Sin. Obviously, if you're not comfortable on the Lee Sin, fair enough. But the Zac was available too. So definitely an interesting composition coming out of Vega Squadron. We'll see if they can make it work. We are going to load it up onto the Rift. This is game 2 of the best of 3. Vega Squadron versus Saigon Jokers. Saigon Jokers are a game up already.
They are, and it was a very convincing game to get them a game up. I don't want to say I imagine it's going to be the same story here because of the Poppy jungle, but at the minute it does feel like it's going that way. It feels like almost like a bit of a cheese element in a sense. I'm just not convinced it's really the best idea here, and I can't believe our close celebrity is sat here without them knowing what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, nice. Force flash.
Yeah, they could do. Ron OP is just trying to get a look on blasting. Yeah, and that's going to be a force flash, in fact, coming out from him. I think you're a little bit ahead of me again.
Probably. 1 minute now.
Oh, yeah, okay, same.
So, see, actually, it's my local machine that's behind.
Oh, okay. Not too bad.
That's the stream machine itself is fine. No, I'm an idiot, basically.
Okay, that's all right.
I'm good now.
Good.
Chomp.
Yinjin. They get chomped. Yeah, he's going really low as well. But that's going to be a force flash out on the bottom lane. Ron OP paying blasting a little bit too much disrespect, I think. Just not respecting that to Dom, Ravik, and Edward could be in that bottom side. Bush in the river, but we'll see how that does affect them. Yijin is going to actually blow a potion already in his refillable. I mean, Nidalee doesn't need that many potions on the clear anyway, so it shouldn't affect her too much.
Yeah, she should be fine. Once she gets hold of the blue buff, you can just spam the heal all day anyway. It's not a worry at all.
Oh, nice ward. Nice ward clear.
It's Poppy, I was going to say, it's an Nidalee DC'd, but no, she's fine.
No, she's alright.
She just sat against the wall and I was like, just chilling, just lying down and doing nothing.
Taking a breather. You are 1 eye up in the series, I suppose, so can take a little bit of a breather, but they want to keep this pressure on like they had early game, and Nidalee is exactly the perfect pick to do that.
Well, of course, we'll have to wait and see exactly how she gets on with this early game as well. Yijin having a really good game last time. It'd be great if you can do the same this time round, but you know, this Poppy, as much as I disapprove of it, and I think there's better picks to be made here, I'm still really curious to see how it plays out if she does run into the Nidalee, especially in the jungle where there's not really anywhere for Nidalee to run to. If you can get the steadfast presence down and stop her jumping away, prop the red buff so you get the slows down, it's going to be so difficult to be able to escape.
It is, and with the bottom lane forced off that level 2, really feeling the pressure of Ron not having flash at the moment. They're only just dinging it. Celebrity should be alright to farm under tower. He hasn't missed too many as of yet. And Yijin is on his red buff. So the junglers just clearing the jungle at roughly the same time. Just Zanzara is just so much healthier.
Yeah, Yijin's moving probably a bit quicker through it all, mind you, though. I imagine if there comes to scrap here, actually, which we might see happen in just a second down there.
We will indeed.
In fact, there's a flash.
There is a flash, actually, yeah. Yi-Jin's
Wow.
actually going to get taken really low. Zanzara might just get the kill. Heal comes through. Buckler hits her. Shield picked up as well. Zanzara gets first blood in the jungle over Yi-Jin.
I hope you get a replay of that, because that was really interesting. A lot of it was down to Yi-Jin being so low in the first place. It was also, again, he had to flash. He got caught up in the steadfast presence and got caught. Well, it worked out exactly how we kind of predicted with if they were to meet in the jungle. And good play, I have to say, by Zanzara there. Maybe catching Yi-Jin a little bit off guard. Question now, does the Poppy go full tank? Does she look to go something a bit different? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
We will indeed. It would be interesting to see what build path she does want to go towards. Ro taking a lot of damage as well from Unholy. Guy's going to heal up pretty nicely. Yi-Jin going towards the top side, however, as Non-Holy is pretty low.
Just warded, though. Unlucky timing.
Unlucky timing indeed. Ro. Oh, the flash. The flash respect, actually, from Unholy. Doesn't want to get caught up in the twisting advance coming out from Ro. Does get away. Ocean Drake, first Drake as well. Of course, it was bound to happen.
And no one wants to be dealing with that, that's for sure. Yeah, when you do get the flash twisted advance, especially if it's onto a carry, and then you get the Q backwards afterwards to knock them more towards your team. It's not so much a Lee Sin kick, but it has the same sort of effect of you being deep in there, being able to disrupt their carry, and probably giving your team a nice, easy way to kill them. And of course, if you pop down the Maelstrom, the vengeful Maelstrom as well, you live forever. It's crazy. It's really interesting because we haven't seen Trundle Maokai as a matchup for about a year and a bit now. It's really bizarre seeing it back in top lane again.
It is, yeah, and obviously it was just a prime pick in the top lane for so long, just being that perfect mix of tanky and damage, coupled with Grasp the Undying, which virtually made him unkillable in lane because the amount of heals he had was absolutely ridiculous.
And the double Dorans on Trundle as well. That's a throwback.
Wow. Yeah, jeez. I wonder if Mapai's going to go double Dorans as well. Obviously, he can do that to get a bit of extra AP. It does actually help a lot. Obviously,
Yi-Jin again.
Minions. Oh, Yi-Jin. So aggressive, just just a bit too aggressive. Nice
catch.
Trundle pillar, and they might actually just get this kill. The jump's not up.
Oh.
The cooldown, he jumps over the wall. Zanzara does not want to chase that. Hasn't got flash either. I was so lucky for Yi-Jin to get out of that one alive, and I'm surprised the nerve Nidalee as well with those increased cooldowns just across the board did not impact her sooner.
Can't believe she's struggling as much as she is right now, if I'm completely honest. Look at the bot lane though, so low.
Ron OP, yeah, he's going really low. Blasting, putting down a lot of damage. Same with Edward as well, obviously. He does so much damage in the early game. Celebrity and Ron OP just have not been able to sustain this heavy poke lane.
It's a tough lane to say the least, and you know, I expect come level 6 you might start seeing Blasting and Edward start to try and push ahead in this one. But right now, it's super. Look how low everyone is.
Celebrity actually gets bound up there. Does get ignited, but so does Edward. Edward is going to
Blasting
go down
is in so much
really
trouble.
low. Blasting is in a lot of trouble here. The wall goes down. He might be able to secure the kill. Oh, he just went through Warlords, saving Celebrity's bacon there. And then he comes around from the side as well. Yi-Jin actually picks up Edward off the back of that as well. So that's going to be 2 kills over to Saigon Jokers in this early game. That was a really close fight. Celebrity only inching it out on top.
Nice poach away there by Yi-Jin off from the side. It's a good way to keep himself relevant here as well. This is the problem with Nidalee, is if you do start falling behind, you really start feeling it. And actually, you know, Zanzara here as well, he's got hold of the Moby boots. He wants to be quick. He wants to get into position nice and fast. Probably go for some more scraps, I imagine. Needs to be aware. Has he got a ward down on this blue buff? No, he doesn't.
Doesn't. But Warzone's going to come up actually and just face check this bush. Maybe water up. Smells something suspicious. Yeah, Zanzara's clean out of dodge. Flash actually coming over from Warzone, and the ghost. Wow. Non-Holy goes down. Warzone takes that kill. Flash over the wall, ghosted towards him. Non-Holy says goodbye. Does mean Dobrovic does have a little bit of control over this mid lane. Warzone now getting caught. A bit of a risky path actually coming from him. He's going to get the speed up from the Twin Fangs. And Dobrovic actually has level 6 there with the flash. Did ghost towards him. Doesn't want to go for a kill. Does probably know that Yi-Jin could be nearby.
A shame really that the Poppy wasn't level 6. Actually might have found them falling down pretty quickly. But hey, Moby boots, this is the problem I think when you're actually in combat, really aren't that useful. You're relying a lot on being able to charge onto the enemy a lot and can pin them down. If you can't get away with that, then chances are you aren't going to catch them, especially when it's someone like Warzone who's got the miasma for the slows, when they can keep on speeding themselves up by hitting you with the Q as well. It's just quite hard to keep up with the Cassiopeia, I think. You really do need some support for that.
Yeah, you do. And with her defensive stats now from that Negatron cloak, she's going to be very hard to kill in lane for the Victor. Wood is here. He's going on Celebrity, but Ron-OP's actually going around the side. Celebrity just melts Edward. Bullet time comes out, and he just gets destroyed under tower.
Oh, wow.
And now there... What was that damage? Celebrity with a double up kill from the minion, just disintegrating blasting. That 210 crit just finished him off in no problem. Jin is now in a little bit of trouble. Or he might not. He's not in trouble, actually. I'll take that back. Warzone's here. He does get the smite and execute away. But that damage coming out from blasting in this early game, that BF sword just did so much work for him.
That was crazy, and just I'm really impressed with Fair. Like, the MF here is 3-0-1. Very quiet game last time round, but this game, there's no hiding. Really making an impact. In fact, Michael's caught out a Drogovic here.
Yeah, the Chaos Storm does go down. That's a lot of damage down to Jin in this early game where he doesn't have much defensive stats. He's going to have to back off. Drogovic using the ultimate in a smart way there, not going for a kill, just dissuading Jin. But we talked about it may not have much of an impact after that early death, but he's surely proven otherwise. As this MF on Celebrity is already so far ahead. And now Petrifying Gaze comes out from Warzone. Drobovic's in a lot of trouble here. He's going to go down. Twin Fangs comes through, but Zanzara is going to push him back into tower range. Not doing too much damage. Red buff is burning. And there's the level 6. The knockup's going to come through, and he's going to get himself a kill as well. But does mean Rose in a little bit of trouble under Unholy's tower there. And Jin's just going to be able to make him survive that little engagement. My words are all going all over the place. It's still the morning, guys. You're going to have to give me a little bit of relaxation. More coffee. That's what I need. Zanzara is in the top side. Jin going dangerously close to that wall. He just cannot get the charge, though. Ro trying to do something. Non-Holy goes really low. The execute comes from Jin. And Zanzara just didn't have the impact in that fight whatsoever. And Non-Holy just being a bit too aggressive on that early engage.
Yeah, Zanzara, I think he was trying to force a fight when he knew his really didn't want to fight there. Non-Holy was ridiculously low. Despite having the early turnarounds, a bit of poke coming in from Jin was enough. And, Jin actually, to his credit, is bringing himself back into this game despite the early kill onto Zanzara. That was awful.
Oh, dear.
That's better.
Comes through, though. Yeah, the stun lock up as well from Victor's W is going to come through.
God.
Teleport is actually also going to come through. Ro comes all the way down from top lane. Twisting advance straight on to the Zeref. He's going to go down. Zanzara is in a lot of trouble. Jin just playing so close to danger there. Blasting just gets out. Magical Journey saving his life. The rest of Saigon Jokers, they are collapsing with pure precision on this mid lane. They're going to siege this one up now. Drobovic is down, so the rest of Vega Squadron are going to have a tough time to clear this one out.
I think in that last engage onto Warzone then, Edward expected Drobovic to do more damage, I think, but that Negatron cloak was just more than enough to negate most of the damage that came out of the Victor. They burnt 2 ultimates on it, maybe 3, I think, actually. I don't think Drobovic used his ultimate in the end, actually. But, they burnt so much to try and do it in the first place, and they just didn't seem to take into consideration or respect that Negatron cloak. They just made Drobovic do literally nothing there. And by the time they charged in to try and collapse on him and kill him, realising they weren't going to get the job done with just the ultimates alone, it was a little bit too late by then.
It was, and now with Celebrity with this massive lead, he's just going to be able to force down this tower. Jin is on the bottom side as well. That's how it is so close to going down. It will be the first brick gold of the game as well. Going over to somebody. Ro is just putting a lot of pressure down this mid lane as well. Drobovic has to play so scared right now. Even Jin just walking into that mid side just ignores the damage from him. As a Celebrity, he's probably just going to take this one. It does. First brick gold going over to the bottom side of Saigon Jokers.
Ooh.
Zanzara is here. Does have ultimate available. Does use the charge onto Celebrity. Celebrity's going really low. He actually just takes Edward with him. He's also going to go down. Ron-OP is going to be the next target. Enchanted Chris Larry just walked straight into. Zanzara gets the knockup. Blasting gets the kill. That's going to be a 2-for-1 trade in favour of Vega Squadron. But does mean Saigon Jokers do get the tower. And that does mean Jin does get the jungler advantage in terms of pressure as well.
I haven't even talked about the dragon yet this game. That is available and up here, and I wonder now if Zanzara does start looking towards taking that one away. It is only an Ocean Drake, but it's still a nice dragon to have on side when you've got Victor in the mid lane, especially who wants to burn through mana. You've got Blasting, who wants to be able to spam out the volleys to try and keep waves clear and lanes pushed away. I just think, yeah, why not? We should do it. We're ahead, we're crushing, we're about 3.5k goal in the lead at 13 minutes. A 9-4 in kills. We've got that first brick. Let's keep going with this.
Hey, let's do it. Let's take that Ocean Drake. Why not? Let's engage in the top side, though. Rowe is taking on Holy really low. Does he know the rest of the Vega Squadron are on the side? Yes, they do now, because Yi Jin is also there. Edward almost gets caught up there. Magical Journey used. Rowe, just everybody following that through. And now they're split up. The problem is Rowe is with here with Warzone. Now Zanzara's on his own. 2 flashes over the wall to try and get blasting. This camera angle is beautiful. Blasting goes down. Celebrity picking up that kill. This guy's 5-1 at this point.
Oh.
Bullet time over the wall to dissuade.
Oh, the pillar!
In a lot of it is in such an issue, such a problem right now. This guy cannot be the front line. His team deserves. The red buff gets taken over as well. No response from Drobovic either. Wasn't able to roam up, and that is going to be again an extended lead for Saigon Jokers.
Absolutely crazy there in terms of the scrap. It's a 3-0 to Zanzara right now. He's having a really good time as it stands. But you still got to look towards the bot lane and see that Celebrity is 5-1-2 on this MF. You've got a Maokai that's 2-1-3. So many scary faces currently on Saigon Jokers, and I do worry for Vega here in terms of what they can do to bring it back. I mean, sure, Zanzara massively improved over last game. Now he's no longer on the Nidalee, but then Yijin's having a pretty good game on Nidalee as well.
And not quite the scoreline matching his Lee Sin. Zanzara's looking a bit better on the scoreline as well, but he's just had so much more of an impact. He's just going to take the Ocean Drake, it looks like, by himself. But that fight in the top lane does result in another tower for the bottom side of Saigon Jokers, and they will just be extending that gold lead. That Dust Blade picked up as well, but we saw him do that last game, and boy, did he make it work.
He does. The Maokai so far working out pretty well. Although they're going to probably rotate up there and try and put some pressure down if they can. They just want to try and get some more towers down here. It's like we were talking about quite a lot yesterday. There's objective gold that's locked up in towers and the like throughout the whole game that really you need to unlock to not so much get a power spike, but at least you start getting that gold in the bank and start rolling for in terms of your items. You know, 2 or 3 towers can be, 500, 600 gold for each member. It can be quite big if you manage to stack it up. It's just about rotating around and making it happen, because right now Vega Squadron don't have a single tower on the map.
Not at all, and this was the story last game. They just weren't able to collapse on these objectives very well. Yi Jin, I think that was Zanzara's time there to charge him into the wall, but he's going to be pretty safe. Just because that a few wards in his own jungle. Rowe is playing really aggressive now, just forcing the side of... Whoa, Dobrovic. He almost goes down there, actually. He's going to... Well, it did look like he popped the Scare Storm as well, and he did pop the Flash just to get away from Warzone. Warzone is so strong at this current time, and Saigon Jokers with the almost perfection macro play right now. They're going to take the mid tower in tier 1, and like you just said, 0 towers to 3. Saigon Jokers firmly in the lead.
They are 11-5 in kills, got that tower down as well, almost 6k ahead. No Dragon or objectives up anytime soon, really. You're looking at Baron in 3 minutes 45 seconds. Bit more time to go. But the team are all pulling in the right direction, and Warzone really starting to heat up now as well. It is going to turn into a Warzone once he gets hold of his 2nd and 3rd items, and I imagine it's going to be, by the looks of it, probably going to go towards finishing off the Archangel staff first, and then probably a Rylai's. He might do it the other way around, because of course Needlessly Large Rod now builds Rylai's as well. Probably going to be a situational thing, deciding what does the team need right now. Can I go for more mana and therefore more sustain when I'm trying to go in fights? Do I need to slow in the health bars? Am I getting melted in these fights? The answer at the minute is no. Just barely getting touched out by the Victor. And in fact, never mind. I was going to say she sold the Negatron cloak, but of course she built the Abyssal Scepter. It's fine.
Yeah, she got it. No inefficient gold usage here. Don't you worry. Edward using the ultimate actually does catch up Warzone. He's really stuck. Just so much CC. He goes down instantly. That was an Enchanted Crystal Arrow, the Gravity Field from Victor, and Edward's ultimate as well. Tempered Fate landing straight on his head to set that one up. He's going to go down, and that I think is what's going to happen. Going to have to happen for Vega Squadron. They're going to have to look for these massive picks. Celebrity on the side, ultimate ready and waiting. Rowe is in here as well. Teleport does come down. Zanzara does find Yi Jin on the sidelines. Nunholy is here as well, being that massive tank line he needs to be. But Celebrity has got that armor pen. Make It Rain is going to come through. Bullet time still available. We'll see if he can use it. He does actually get knocked out. Now Rowe is going to get cycled on. He's just going to go down here. Blasting, picking up that kill. Beautiful ultimate from Zanzara there. Just getting the rest of the DPS coming out from Saigon Jokers out of there, just so they could focus down the tank. And now they're going to head towards the bottom lane, it looks like, to try and push these advantages.
They really do need to start pushing these advantages, like you say. This, you know, that you get a kill like that onto the top laner, who's their only tank on the team, mind you, and you don't start looking towards an objective. I understand you can be quite scared of damage, like they are here, actually.
Yeah, blasting.
Blasting.
Get caught up here. He just goes down. Celebrity with that armor pen build is absolutely disgusting, and now Ron OP just get pillared up, and Edward's going to secure that kill for himself. That's a 1-for-1 trade, but blasting going down is definitely going to go into favour of Saigon Jokers, as Celebrity is still alive. That Baron up in 1 minute 30 as well, and the gold lead firmly in their favour. Not as big as last game at 19 minutes. They were 10k gold lead ahead, but
Run, Yijin.
He's going to get out. He's fine.
He's okay this time.
He's okay this time. He's going to start the Rift Tower alone. I'm not sure that's a good idea. He's going to back off. Yeah, he's like, actually, I realise that thing's got about 12k HP.
Taking away that blue buff now as well. I wonder if they look towards the Herald here as well. It's gone in 45 seconds, but they probably have enough dominance to be able to take it.
I think they're trying.
There they go. They're going to try.
They're going to try it. They've got a lot of damage. Celebrity is, you could say he's pretty fed. Hasn't actually gone back in a little while. It'll be interesting to see what gold he's finding in his pocket. 6k on the HP bar of the Rift Tower. I don't think it's going to get contested. There's no point at this point. And it hasn't been that widely contested either in this past weekend. Blasting, just trying so hard to just farm up here. He's 4 kills, 4 deaths, but only with that single Essence Reaver, no real attack speed in his pocket at the moment, apart from those 2 daggers and the Berserker's Greaves, meaning he's not as big an impact he wants to be in fights.
He's pushing down the top lane now as well, try and get some more towers shoved in. I imagine here for Saigon Jokers, you know, you're 20 minutes into the game here, you're 6k in the lead. Okay, you've got all 3 outer towers, but now in the next 5 minutes, you want to look to be taking at least 2 of those inner towers. With the onset to take an inhibitor by about 33 minutes, really. Maybe with the Baron, that's what they can do it with. In fact, try and maybe bait here and just force Vega into a situation they don't want to go into, because they're playing so defensively right now, and all quite tight together as well. In fact, a scrap here might be going on. Yijin.
Yeah, Yijin is going to get really low, and Chant Chris Lara yet again comes through and does land. Wow. Blasting doing really well at landing those. Props to him for actually hitting so many of these. Setting up a lot of these kills actually at this point, which is going to really help Vega Squadron. The next dragon is coming up in 20 seconds as well. It's going to be a Cloud Drake. Not the biggest one they want to contest. They're going to wander down towards Row, but Ron OP is going to be here. You are wandering towards an unwarded bush, my friend. Got a ward down. But now Celebrity is in the fight. Ronro does get a nice twitching advance down onto Zinjash here. He is going to go really low. He's just going to go down. The armor pen coming out, and Warzone's going to join the fray. He has got his ultimate available, but so is Drobovic. They're going to have to back off. That gravity field just dissuading them. Looks like they're going to pull the advantage from that kill. Yijin did go down, but picking up that Zanzish kill doesn't mean they're going to take that Drake.
They do a comfy one there. They probably could have tried to look towards Baron potentially. They've got the damage too, I feel, with, you know, 4 relatively good damage dealers here. Okay, Maokai less so, but still does do some good damage. And the jungler's dead. The King's coming down. I think Vega are worried they're going towards it. I don't know if they're actually going to start it here as much as they're just trying to get vision control and bait Vega to come over here. But, I don't know. Bit weird. I think they should maybe ran for it in the first place. I actually like that the Nidalee's gone proto belt here. Usually we used to see, if you remember for a while, we saw Nidalee go in for Rower. Used to build Rower instead to be tanky, have some good damage, have some good sustain, so on and so forth. Now, it's proto belt. That's pretty cool.
It's proto belt time. Double was better than 1 jump on Nidalee. 2 jumps on Nidalee. With damage as well, with added damage, so it's pretty nice. I mean, Right Eyes might have been a little bit better. But hey, why not? You are fairly far ahead in terms of your team. So, hey, I would too, to be fair. Why not? I mean, but then again, I don't play Nidalee very well. I only played her when she was in the mid lane. I love Nidalee as a champion, but I cannot for the life of me play her in the jungle. I'll just leave that to Lee. I'm just going to leave that to Lee Jin. Ron OP. He's on the sidelines. He's done really well this game as well. The gold. We're looking at the gold real quick. There's a lot of gold on the side of Celebrity. He's got 9k. So he's almost 2,000 gold over blasting at this point. The guy is incredibly fed. An entire item as well. 7, 1, and 2. Definitely the firm carry in this game. There is a 5k gold lead as well in the pocket for Saigon Jokers. No towers, in fact, even. Non-holy, just too scared to push that one in.
Oh yeah, I wonder if they're trying to take the Baron here now. I've mentioned it a couple of times already, but this seems to be what they need to really start pushing in. Otherwise, they still haven't taken any of those inner towers. 3 minutes after I said they need to start looking towards those. it's almost like they're scared of pushing in too deep right now. And in fact, that's going to be the first tower of the game going down for Vega here. So this is what Saigon Jokers need to be wary of, is not letting Vega get back into this game by letting small objectives like that slip away.
Non-Holy as being that split push monster, he's literally just sat in a sideway for most of the game, only just coming up to scrap in the team fights. That's going to be his job. You wouldn't be able to tell though, due to his CS being quite low, but that's because he did get a lot of did get pressured out in the early game, I suppose. Now Saigon Jokers, they just look like they're setting up the Baron. I mean, that's what they've been posturing for this whole time.
They are, yes. Good control coming down, mind you. You can see where the Vision War is starting to appear here. Mainly still owned, of course, by Vega. They do have most of the vision inside their own jungle right now, but the river is entirely blue, and that's not because of the water jaws. It's because of the blue wars littered all around. In fact, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow came out there and completely missed.
Damn. Damn it, you're joking. Damn it, the Crystal Arrow. Here comes Ro on the sidelines. Just locks up blasting here. Heal being used as well. He wants to survive on the sidelines, though. Drogovic goes really low. He's almost going to go down. In fact, he think he is. One more spear will do it. No, it will not happen. Ro still just being this massive front line. That guy is not going down anytime soon. The spear just misses Drogovic. Flashing health bars on the side of Vega Squadron. And they are not looking too healthy. This next tower is going to fall, making it 4-1 on the tower count. Non-Holy just being a non-factor in that fight. Still in this bottom lane. He tried to roam up, but just didn't make it in time for the rest of his team. Just absolutely got demolished, and Ro just popping off on this Maokai.
Going pretty big right now, and it's like I said in the pre-game, you don't see him all that often, but when you do see him, he is an immovable object and very, very hard to unroot this tree. In fact, he's the one who does the rooting in the first place. But that's going to be Baron finally going over there.
That damage.
Yeah, I've been saying it for a few minutes now. They really need this to start pushing on to the next point in the game. They do seem to be struggling to get onto the inner towers. Maybe because, you know, Non-Holy at this point is really good at split pushing as well. The items he's got are working out well. And Vega actually, in the last 5 minutes, I said that it was Saigon Jokers that needed to get a few towers. Actually, it's 2 towers going over to Vega in the last 5 minutes alone. This TP, though.
Oh, nice. Backline Korean TP coming in from Ro. They look like they've got their eyes set on the blasting. Nice Tempered Fate, though. Enchanted Crystal Arrow slowed him up earlier as well. You do not want to get near Celebrity at all at this point. He's got the Ghost Blade. He's got the Dust Blade. This guy is just oozing out damage. There's not much they can do. With those Baron buff minions, though, they're just going straight down the mid lane.
They are indeed. This is what they've been needing to do for a while now. Now they're actually finally making it happen. That's going to start looking good for them. Riley's just picked up by the Victor here. Not massive for wave clear, but definitely good for some form of teamfight control. And actually, you can see for the Cassiopeia as well, did choose to go towards the Rylai's before finishing off the Archangel's staff instead. And in fact, Nidalee here, I think she's just trying to go pretty much all AP. This is like the kind of thing you see on an Elise, maybe. But going for the Lich Bane next, that's something you don't see on an Elise.
Well, it could be a Triforce, it could be a Frozen Fist, I suppose, but probably the Lich Bane. I mean, why not? More execute damage, more fun. Ro, just being there. Look at that guy, he's so tanky, man. 2-1 and 4 on the Maokai. Got the kills he needed in the early game. Just he cannot be touched at this point. Did go double Dorrance in the end. I was curious, but now Saigon Jokers are going to rotate up to the top side. That massive minion wave that's built up is just going to crush this tower in a mere matter of seconds.
Much better, much better.
Saigon Jokers, but
yeah, it's
good.
It's taken them 6 minutes, but they've just brought down 2 towers in no time. Oh, another Enchanted Crystal Arrow misses. They might get the mid lane tower in a second as well, actually. There's so much pressure now. This is what they've been needing to do for about 6 minutes. Let's see what happens here.
Nice Tempered Fate, though. Yijin going really low and a Binding as well. Celebrity just insta-cleanses it. Ro is just in the front line. Takes out Drogovic. Flash forward from Celebrity. This guy is just popping off on this Misfortune. He cannot be stopped at all. Double kill for him coming through as he secures the kill onto Zanzara. The inhibitor is falling. Like you said, the mid tower might fall as well. But they might just look out to close out the game here. 2v5 at this point. 16-9, 27 minutes into the game. Those towers are just falling like they're made of butter. This isn't looking good for Vega Squadron. This is going to be the end of the game. Saigon Jokers are taking it 2-0 against Vega Squadron.